with that, let's welcome in Jay Crawford from sunny Arizona.
Oh, there he is. No sunglasses, Jay.
Yeah.
No, I got to tell you, I need them because I have light eyes, so I'm very light sensitive, but I'm going to try to brave it. The sun is high enough right now in the sky that I should be able to get away with it. Man, I wish you guys were here. I really do. We'd have a blast just because, A, the weather, and B, there's something about the smell of fresh cut grass and the sound of a bat hitting a baseball. It really gets you into spring mode. And, Bull, I know how much you look forward to the start of baseball season, too.
Yeah.
Day 4 of all full team workouts. And the first spring training game starts, it's tomorrow actually. So the season really will start getting underway, and it'll be fun to watch because there are some position battles this year, guys. Mostly it's going to look very similar to the team that was on the field last year, but you're going to see a couple of new wrinkles mixed in here and there. Jason, you know that. You just left here. And those are really the exciting watches during spring training, to see who emerges as the right fielder and where certain guys are going to fit in.
I would think first base, I'm calling Naylor the DH. I would think first base, shortstop, center field, and right field should all be up for grabs, no?
Jay, I don't know about you. Center field to me feels like straw. It just does. Am I misreading that?
Yeah, I disagree. I think I mentioned at the top of the show today, Stephen Vogt just slid in there very strategically that, by the way, Tyler Freeman is they're taking a look at Tyler too. I think they want Estevan Florial to grab onto that job.
I do too.
This spring.
Eventually, but do you think he's ready at the start of the season, though?
I think that's what they want. Now, we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see what the next 6 weeks show, but I think they want Florial to be the center
he's
fielder.
done all he can do in the minors.
Yeah.
He's killed the minors.
He has.
And I think Freeman might actually get a chance at this. We'll see. We'll see how many reps he actually gets out there. But I don't think it'll be Miles Straw in center.
Let's hope.
Yeah, yesterday we spent all day talking to players. We've got more player interviews lined up today. But at 10:30 or 12:30 your time, here as soon as I'm done with this, I've got Chris Antonetti, and we're going to talk to Stephen Vogt in sit-down interviews. So we'll really get into those specific battles. But I don't know. I do feel like, and Jason, I'm sure you picked up on this, there is a clear shift in philosophy at the plate. Did you notice that in talking to guys? Because I was surprised some of the things that I heard.
Go ahead and go deeper on that. I mean, they revamped basically a lot of their hitting instructors, and they brought in a lot of new guys. I know they're working on swing speed with a lot of guys, and Quan in particular is looking for making harder impact on the baseball. And so Chris Villegas back as the hitting coach, but they have revamped a lot of their system.
So I'll go into we've got a soundbite that will help go into that too, but I picked up from several players just in conversation, not necessarily in interviews, although Will Brennan went there on the interview, that, this whole idea of contact has led to them being in the basement in home runs. And they weren't just last place by a little bit. They were like 26 or 27 home runs behind the 29th ranked team. And that gap is just far too great. They were like 175 home runs fewer than the top teams. So you can't continue to do that and expect to get different results. You know what that leads to. So some of the guys were hinting that, that they're probably going to be a little more aggressive at the plate this year. But the one thing that we got out of the talks yesterday was Will Brennan was very specific. And Mike, I know you've got that soundbite ready to go. Let's hear what Will was saying about how this thing is sort of moving in a different direction.
How was the mindset different this year from last year? Last year, you're coming off all the inertia and excitement of a little playoff run. And then, obviously, this year, things didn't end or go really the whole season the way the team wanted last year. How's the vibe different?
All those young guys that we have, everyone has a year under their belt. And that's just a year of experience in the big leagues is different than any other level in baseball. And we're going to utilize that to the best of our abilities. And we're going to be really successful this year. It's going to happen.
Obviously, it's a power game, and everybody talks about the lack of home run production last year from the outfield. You guys have to hear that. I'm sure you work on it in the offseason. What are you feeling in terms of what you have to do performance-wise? Do you feel that you have to become a home run hitter because that's what the team needs?
I feel like you have to evolve with the game, and obviously what you just said is 100% on the head right there. You have to evolve. You have to be able to take some chances, take some risks, and we have that ability. We've led Major League Baseball and not striking out, and the backside, we've been last in home runs, so we have room to take some chances and make some errors in that aspect in order to hit some more home runs or hit more slug.
Do you think the philosophy has changed? I mean, obviously with a new manager, but the hitting coach is the same. Have you seen a shift in philosophy and okay, look, contact's great, but let's take some swings?
100%. There's a new theme around camp, and it's just every single day it's kind of be beaten in our heads of hey, we have to slug. That's just the way the game's going. You have to hit home runs, you have to hit doubles, and you have to drive in those runs. And I mean, we lost 31 one-run games last year. You knock out half of those in wins. I mean, we're a 90-win team, so it's a different club, and we understand that. We have a chip on our shoulder. It's gonna be a good year.
It's interesting that you say that the team has embraced this change in philosophy. A lot of times teams are slow to change, but I think this was so obvious. As a fan, it's refreshing to see that the team and the organization has said, okay, we tried it, we had some success with it, but you got to keep up with the Joneses too.
100%. And, are we going to be the Braves or the Dodgers and lead the MLB in home runs? Absolutely not. But we're going to take pride in hitting doubles and driving those runs in and run the bases really well with some more slug and maybe some more strikeouts, just because we can take that risk.
So again, I said it in the interview, it is refreshing to hear that they're willing to go in a different direction. They gave that a shot, and that's nice to hear. And he's right. On the 31 one-run losses, if you win half of those, you're walking to a division title. Now, granted, they also had a lot of one-run wins, and they're going to have to keep finding out a way to grind out those close games. But an increase in home run production will certainly make it easier to win the majority of those one-run games. Let's pivot now to pitching. We talked on the show, I think last week, about which of these 5 starters is best positioned to win a Cy Young Award. We didn't talk to Bieber or Williams yesterday. We're going to talk to them here in just a little bit. But we did talk to the other 3, and we talked to Austin Hedges, who, though he's not the everyday catcher, he knows this staff very well. Here's what they had to say about the fact that all of these guys are sort of Cy Young caliber guys.
What a staff. What a pleasure. You're too young to remember the 90s Braves, but Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz, they had guys that they were going to win Cy Youngs, they were going to win 20 games. We had a conversation on the show the other day about which one is most likely to win the Cy Young, and all 5 guys came up. That doesn't happen very often.
It's what we do here. It's what we do here. We pitch, and we develop pitching at such a better rate than everybody else.
How?
It's not just
what's going on here that isn't going on in other places?
It's the people. It's the people, and the people here allow the people that are also pitchers to be free enough to be themselves. This is you. Tristan doesn't need to be Shane Bieber, and Bybee doesn't need to be Gavin. They need to be themselves, and this organization does such a good job. But this is what makes you great. Go do that over and over and over and over again. And when I'm watching our bullpens, there's 7 dudes throwing. Right now, I haven't even heard of half of them. And I'm just like, that dude's nasty. That dude's nasty. That dude's prepared. That dude's executing all his pitches. I'm like, I don't even know him yet. But I'm like, that's what they do here. And I know that all those dudes are great dudes, because you're not a Cleveland Guardian if you're a bad dude.
I mean, it's pretty awesome. I mean, I feel like we got a good blend of veteran leadership with Shane, and I guess Tristan's considered a veteran on our team because we're all so young. And then you have me, Gavin, and Logan, who kind of went through the ringer last year a little bit, kind of got introduced. I think it's awesome. I think it's all about healthy competition with us. I think we all want to be the best. We all want to be the ace, but obviously we respect each other a lot. And I think at the end of the day, we're all just trying to be the best and be in a good spot.
It's really cool, like you said. I mean, all 5 of them you feel like could win the Cy Young, or Shane has obviously done it before, but the other 4 could make a case for. But it is cool to kind of follow up that and be a part of a bullpen group behind that starting rotation because of how dominant they are, and it makes it a lot easier on a bullpen when you got a good starting rotation like that, so you're not throwing in the 2nd or 3rd inning every other day. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to kind of see the growth and the maturity of the younger guys in the staff.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I think we definitely take a lot of pride in that being our identity and being able to do our part for the offense, for the bullpen. I think we kind of have that internal competition. Like you're always trying to not only compete against the other team, but we're kind of trying to best each other. And I think that kind of brings out the best in all of us. And it definitely leads to a lot of good things. And we're definitely excited to have Shane and Tristan back healthy this season. I think that that's going to bode well for us. And like I said, we're excited, ready to go.
Who is most likely to win it?
I mean, the easy answer for me to say me. But I would say Shane probably to repeat, right?
I mean, he's won it. he knows what it takes.
Yeah, he knows what it takes.
Yeah. You're too young to remember the 90s Braves staff, but it was the same thing. They had 4 guys that were easily capable of winning 20, and they always talked about how they slingshot one start into the next. If Glavine went and threw a 4-hit shutout complete game, then Maddox felt like he had to come back and go the distance and give up 3 hits and no runs. Is there some sort of competition? Do you feel that there's a competition that way with you guys too?
For sure. I think it's all it's all healthy. It's all in good fun. It's never, I'm hoping for someone to do bad. It's always like we want someone to do good, and then we just try to do a little bit better, you know? And I think that just kind of does well for the team as well. It puts us in a good spot to win a lot of games. So I think we have that for sure.
Yeah, it's very refreshing. And, so young, Cy Young. What's really impressive is you've got the veteran in Bieber. And it's funny because the younger guys are kind of looking at McKenzie as, he's one of the veterans on the staff. He's still so young. Talked to him yesterday. He said his arm feels great. Psychologically, he says there's absolutely no worries of another injury. Remember, he started with the shoulder and then it went to the elbow. So I know he's not worried about it, but fans and I'm sure the staff will be watching him very closely to make sure everything's okay. Now, I know we've got limited time, so I want to get right to this. Obviously, on our show, we've talked a lot about Austin Hedges, not just the impact that he has on the clubhouse, but Bull has been a big, big critic of his. We're going to get to that in a second. But the other thing we always talk to our audience about is how much this guy looks like Ant. And I actually asked him yesterday if he was aware that he's got, I don't want to call him a stalker, but he's got someone running around Cleveland who's kind of stealing his identity. Take a look.
We got another guy on our show, Anthony, one of our producers. He is your twin. He bought a Hedges jersey and wears it around town. He's pretending to be you.
I mean, if that is the case, then I got to meet him because we're talking about the 2 best-looking guys in the world now. Like, the guy's got to be absolutely gorgeous.
He's a pretty guy.
He must be. I got to look into those eyes at some point.
What's scary is he has the same beard. He's trying really hard.
But is it the clean beard or is it the playoff beard?
No, it's the clean beard. Okay. It's what you're wearing right now. It's cropped. Maybe in October he'll let it go. Get gnarly. Yes.
Yeah. Tell him he's got to let it go.
Here's the thing. He can't spell. His name's Anthony. We call him Anthony Can't-to-Spelly. He can't spell, bro. He makes spelling errors on our graphics all the time. Can you give him a little?
Buddy, spelling? There's spell check. like I don't, when I'm texting and stuff, like I don't even try and spell things right, and Siri will fix it for me. Like, just spell check.
Come on, Anthony, be better.
I refuse to be better. I won't be better. Spell check is a scam invented by Grammarly.
We don't have the side-by-side graphic ready, guys. Do you got that?
I do not have
we
it ready.
do, I think.
Sorry, I didn't put it in tag.
You sent me the
morning.
picture yesterday.
I did. Hold on.
We'll get it ready. Jay, set up this next one while we set this in motion.
I can't wait to hear this
All right.
one.
Yeah, so this one, Bull, I want you to pay particular attention to this one. Bull, you have been extremely hard on Austin Hedges. And I can honestly tell you this. If you spent one day here in camp, one day. Wow, did you shave?
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God, he shaved.
Yeah.
So if you spent one day here in camp or around him or the guys and you talked to the players about him, I promise you would get it. You would understand why he was such a huge priority to bring back. And I did ask him to give you a message. Take a look.
I love it.
What about politician?
That'd be me.
You've been mentioned a lot.
That's me.
Yeah, you know what? I see it. You're the
None
mayor.
of these guys are too young to even know how to handle all that. I can handle all the comments, all the mean things people say about you. I can handle
Bring
that.
it.
Yeah.
We got a guy on our show who says mean things about you, Adam the Bull. I'm like, bro, he does everything well. He does all these little things. He's like, he doesn't hit. Look in the camera and tell Adam the Bull he's nuts.
Well, I don't hit. That's accurate. I'm working on it, but we'll get there. I try and do other things.
Hey, masking. Listen, this is crazy. He's ski masking.
I love
bread. This guy is so
I
good.
love it.
He's like, yeah, I can't hit it all, bro. What you talking about?
I love Austin Hedges for that. I love that he kept it real. By the way, I made it clear I got zero problem with him being the backup catcher. And I know he's a good locker room guy. I just didn't want him to be a starter here.
No, and that's fair.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he understands that's fair. He knows what his role is here.
Yep.
He's here to help tutor Bo Naylor, to teach him how to be an everyday catcher, who, by the way, that kid is also great on the microphone. He was just tremendous in the interview that we had with him. But, Bull, Jason, you see it. You're out here. I talked to 10 players yesterday. I asked them about the clubhouse and the vibe and how's it different from last year. And every man that was here last year brought one thing up. We miss Austin Hedges. His presence in the clubhouse, how he keeps it loose, how he stays on us in a friendly but competitive way. Jason, his value to the team, I get it now. I totally get it.
His mouth is never closed.
Yeah.
He's talking the whole time he's in there.
My only beef with Hedges back this year is that could they have used that $4 million for Randall Grichuk or Adam Duvall, who might be upgrades in center field? It shouldn't come down to that because they should. I mean, think about this team. If you just signed J.D. Martinez and Adam Duvall today as your DH and center fielder.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe one of those deals will happen. I wouldn't hold my breath on it. But, I understand what you're saying, Bull, and it does make perfect sense. But if you spend any time around this group, you really do understand it. I mean, I know it's a roster spot, and I know it's $4 million, but I got to tell you, I'm not saying it would have been different last year if he was here. Obviously, the pitching staff being decimated with injury had a lot to do with that. But the atmosphere is loose. Everybody is focused. Everybody knows what the job is and what the task at hand is. And I got to tell you, I know fans may have lowered expectations because you look at the offense and you wonder where the offense is going to come from. But this team is very confident. Jason, did you find that too? They think the division is very winnable.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, they should think that on February 23rd.
But there's nobody good in the division, so 85 wins might be enough.
Nobody's going to run away with it.
Yeah.
No. And they should feel good. With the pitching that they have, they should feel confident.
Yeah.
Right. And you know as well as I do, it doesn't matter if you win your division with 80 games, 90, or 105. Everybody starts at zero once the playoffs begin.
Just get in there.
And when you've got the pitching staff that they have, Jason, can you remember the time in Indians Guardians history where there was this kind of quality starting depth? I mean, all 5 of these guys had a lot of success at some point in their career, and the young guys obviously all looked great last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. I mean, you go back to the Kluber, Carrasco, Bauer, that was probably the heyday of the last 10, 15 years, and Clevenger.
Yeah.
And this has the makings to duplicate
this could
that
be
for sure.
as good, even better, maybe. But
Bybee needs to take a step. Gavin Williams needs to take a step. Logan Allen needs to take a step. He's he's a step behind those guys. Espino, I'm anxious to see, although I don't know that he's going to make the majors this year coming off that injury. Espino may actually be the best of all of these young guys. We haven't seen him yet.
We'll see. He hasn't pitched in 2 years.
Fingers crossed
Jay.
on Espino. Guys, I know you got to run. I'll see you back there on Monday.